Well, welcome to peacepodcast.org. I am so delighted with our guest today, Marsha Hunt. Marsha Hunt, I say that name with great peer pressure because Marsha Hunt, the movie star I've seen on CNN, I've seen her on Ted Turner Classics, and Marsha Hunt, the real Marsha Hunt, met her, didn't you, Marsha?
Yes, I did. I met her a few times actually over the course of my life, and we one was through the gentleman who made her documentary, and another time was I was at a film screening and she was there.
This is so
Hi,
exciting.
Marsha Hunt too. Yeah.
You, Marsha Hunt, believe in peace through service. And look at her backdrop. You're going to find out why Ukraine is so important to her life and what she did. And she is the Marsha Hunt Productions Emmy Award winning producer. She lives in Los Angeles and she has a film company. And she always quotes Jane Goodall, above all, we must realize that each of us makes a difference with our life. Each of us impacts the world around us every single day, right?
Right. Each and everyone listening to this right now makes an impact on someone's life every single day.
In every single way, wherever you are the peace other people need. And I know because Marsha's in my Rotary E Club of World Peace. She's a peace ambassador. She's working with Rotary Peace Club. She just finished a big meeting, and I'm going to join the 2 o'clock one. Will you be on that one also?
Yes, I will.
Oh,
Yes, I
good. I hope I get your group. All right.
will.
Well, I'm Barbara Gunn, and we are here for mutually assured survival for peace and happiness on our planet. Marsha, you just got back from Ukraine in 2023. Why did you go to Ukraine in 2023?
Why did I go? Well, that's something people have asked me. I had got access through, a lot of you might know Shab Elawar, and he got access to some prosthetics, hands. And I found out they were like in Riverside, and Los Angeles isn't very far from Riverside. And I told him I could take some to Ukraine, and I went out and picked them up, and he gave me some information about them. And so I had two suitcases full of pro had 50 prosthetics, and then I had my little carry-on that was that I was using for just clothes of my own. And so I was originally going to go through Turkey, and I had two friends that don't know each other that told me don't go through Turkey because they might take them away from you, if you go through Turkey. So I rerouted myself through, uh, I went through Finland, Helsinki, Finland. So I entered Europe, and I was talking, and they asked me, they were x-raying my baggage again in Helsinki, and I was on my way to Warsaw from there. And then I was driving and taking trains the rest of the way. But they said, what are all these? And blah, blah, blah. And I got really nervous. And I said, well, I'm a Rotarian and we do service above self. And so I'm taking all these prosthetics to Ukraine. I'm delivering to Ukraine, to Kyiv, to a Rotary warehouse. And I just started talking and talking. And I said, and we believe in the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it all concerned? And the guy went, okay, 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 okay. And just pushed me through. And I was gone in, less than a tenth of a second,
Well, it does help to talk them to the pieces so that they'll pay attention. But anyway,
Yeah.
as a Rotarian, you are amazing. Well, you said you had a PowerPoint. Would you like to share the PowerPoint of what you did? Because that's where we're going to find the real story. And I thank you for bringing those to Ukraine.
Okay. Let me pull this up. And is it there? You see it?
We sure do.
Okay. Well, that's me. And I'm in Lviv in front of the Lviv Opera House. And Lviv, I discovered, is a very incredibly beautiful city. And the Rotarians met me and took me all around and took me to dinners and breakfasts. And, they showed me around Lviv and picked me up and got me to the warehouse, the Rotary Lviv warehouse. Uh, and here are some of the Rotarians. There's Hinaldi, who's a member of our ICC. He's on there. And this is Vasil, And he picked me up and took me all around the first day. And this is Boris. And I see all of these guys on Zoom calls every now, quite often for the ICC. And this is us at breakfast. And of course, naturally, we had to exchange flags. Here we are in Ukraine, and I had my Westwood Village flag, and they gave me a flag there. And these are actually the prosthetics I took. And there's a group, and the people that got these all together, they hand decorated each little bag that the prosthetics come in by individuals and put little notes in them. And it was just a really nice thing to take there. And this is some shots of the warehouse, and it's filled with all kinds of things, but it might be filled with something for a day or two because everything goes out. And pretty well. And I actually had a picture of this woman up here. There's Hinaldi again, and Anna. Anna is a Rotarian, and she's like the breath of life in this warehouse. She's keeping track of everything all the time. Things coming in, where they're going out, where they received. They have Rotarians. If you're a Rotarian in Lviv, you are very, very busy. And they get things out all over the place. In there that day were water filters, um, thermometers, food, all kinds of things. And also, while I was there, uh, I went to the Superhuman Center, and it was just being finished. They had just finished it, and it was the actual building was built by Sting and Richard Branson, and it's in like a suburb of Lviv. And they were just finishing it, like literally like that day, getting clients in, and they have a state-of-the-art facility there. And I met the head doctor. This is the entrance. You can see there's a woman without a hand and a man without a leg. And as you enter, and they have state-of-the-art machines that make the prosthetics. And there's a whole lot of measuring that goes on. They actually have two. They have the first one that they fit with, and they see how that works, and then they make a second prosthetic, and that's the one that they're going to keep for like a long time. And they were already building prosthetics. There were guys and women there that to get the prosthetics already, but I didn't want to take pictures. I felt I was kind of invading their privacy. Wasn't a reporter or anything, and I didn't want to invade their privacy.
What a gift you brought just
Yeah.
to be there. And you know, this is such a sad tragedy that we have to even bother to make people whole again if we couldn't do it. And that's why Rotary is so important, because we totally believe that to make people whole is important, but we also want to avoid the wars to begin with.
Yes, we do want to avoid the wars to begin with. And also when I got back, my club, they told me about these special canes that are here, and they needed, I think they said 18 of them, but they were expensive canes. They were like, I forget how much they were, but anyway, my club got the 18 between my club, my sister, Melissa, and who's also in the Rotary E Club of World Peace, and myself, we got the money together to get 18 canes and sent them off. And they can recycle them as one person gets their prosthetic leg or whatever, they can give the cane to someone else. So
So
they're
this is
recycled. Yes.
the preparation for your the
And
need we have, right?
yes. And at that time, Dr. Myron Urin was the district governor for the whole Ukraine district. He's a dentist and a surgeon. And I met him, went to his office, and had quite a conversation with him. And he's been right out on the front lines. He's been right out, doing surgeries. He's repaired, since he's a dentist, he's done some repaired guys' mouths and all of this. And he's been doing like a lot of stuff. There's Hinaldi and me, and we of course traded flags too. Hinaldi and me and the district governor at that time.
Uh-huh.
And then, oh, these are these things that he needs to repair their mouths. And I contacted the group that makes them, the company that makes them in Atlanta, and spoke to them. And they're trying to get discounts and things on that. But they actually come from Atlanta. If anybody wants to buy a bunch of them, they can range, he said, somebody might need two of these long things here to go in someone's mouth, and somebody needed like 46 or whatever that they needed, and they
Goodness.
cost about 3,500 a piece, so they're not inexpensive here
Right.
to work on. But anyway, working on discounts. And this is his garage. At the time, it was filled with all kinds of equipment to go out to medical centers and all in the front. And then right after I got back to the States was when, you might remember, when the dam was bombed and
You.
whole areas were just devastated. And for my friends in Ukraine, I made new friends there, Tatiana and Eddie, that I'm still in contact with. Spoke with them yesterday, and they sent me this picture. One picture is worth 1,000 words, and showing how this little boy is trying to. It makes me cry right now, trying to save his little puppy there and get him out of this catastrophic damage back there. But anyway, I've done a lot of things since then. Ukraine is a beautiful place. Here's a picture of it, another picture of it. But I'm going to take this down now. But it was a fascinating trip to be there and to talk to people, just talking to all the people there. Told you I met Eddie and Tatiana, and they were actually friends of Claudine Schuley, who I believe you know. She
I
was
do, yes.
was the president until 24 hours ago of the Ukraine USA ICC. And I met them and I worked with them and actually got they needed a like not an ambulance, but they needed a car they could put people in to evacuate them. And more like a station wagon, we might call it. The insurance companies might call it a truck, but where they can put seats up and they can evacuate moms and children's out of areas. Also, they can put the seats all the way down flat and they can put wounded people in there and get them to, the closest medical center or whatever. But I they looked around and they found a car that would work, and it was white, and they painted it camouflage colors and all of that, so it just blended in. And they have three full-time crews. They say that that car is evacuating people or getting people to medical centers 24/7. And but Eddie and Tatiana do amazing things. Oh, and I was going to tell you about, with that superhuman center, they call it. And in the back, Eddie and Tatiana, they were raising funds and they got it built. Um, there's a play yard for children, and also like different surfaces, steps you can go up, and hills to, walk up inclines, and gravel, and um, all kinds of different surfaces. So the guys and the women too, when they get their prosthetic legs or arms or whatever they're getting, they can practice walking on all these different surfaces. And the playground is there with like merry-go-rounds and swings and jungle gyms and all kinds of things. So they can bring their kids there and get used to playing with their children with their prosthetics, because your weight's different, thrown on, and you have to get used to it, how they can push their child on a swing, on the merry-go-round, maybe get on the merry-go-round with them, all that sort of stuff, how they can play with their children. And that is behind that medical center now also.
I listened to you and I am so proud that you were there to witness the
Mhm.
beauty of these moments because it's sad. It's a sad time for many parents, and they realize that their help and their love and the help of the Rotarians
Mhm.
made life possible. And I feel such resilience in the people. Did you find that to be the case?
The resilience is amazing. And how, the Rotarians in Lviv run this warehouse where they're constantly getting things in from Europe, from all over. I have another Rotarian friend, JC Clapsaddle. Have you ever met him
Not yet.
before? Okay. Well, I'm sure you will one day. And just is left yesterday to go to England to pick up some medical equipment. He was in the military for, he had a military career and just retired from it. But he worked in getting hospitals all the medications and everything they need. And he's on his way for, I think it's I don't know how many times he's been to Ukraine, but he's bringing like a caravan of trucks filled, going through Europe, getting all these trucks and with medical supplies, medical equipment, all things medical, and taking trucks and caravans to Ukraine, and then they have a list of different hospitals and different places they're going while in Ukraine.
You
And
shared those words.
yeah,
They're helping
this is another
everybody.
Rotarian.
Yes, Rotarians. And you
Mhm.
have your Rotary USA Ukraine Inter-Country Committee. You
Mhm.
now are the president of the ICC. Tell the world what ICC is.
ICC is Inter-Country Committee, and we at least once a month, and then we have smaller meetings within the month. And I think we're going to start meeting. I'm going to put that out there about maybe twice a month,
Uh-huh.
starting. And because we have so many things going on, we were doing that, but we kind of stopped it during Christmas because in the holidays, because everybody, well, like Dirk Lustig and different people were doing the St. Nicholas tour in Ukraine, and all these different things going on, and uh, with Yulia Pavenchenko, and we have a lot going on, and we try to support a lot of different projects, and we so I think we'll start meeting now that the year is getting back to kind of normal again. Um, twice a month,
Well,
and
you're the
then have
perfect
coordinated
person to be
meetings.
president now after being in Ukraine. It's
Well,
a
we'll see. Yeah.
you
And
are, you are, you are. You have such energy. I always notice it whenever we're on our Rotary E Club meetings and also many other meetings when we are on Zoom. What would we do without Zoom, Marsha?
I don't know. We all got involved in it during COVID,
Huh?
it became an amazing factor. I do have one correction to make. I started during COVID going to the E-Club of World Peace
Right.
meetings every Tuesday night, because what else was I going to do on Tuesday nights? And then um, my sister, I talked to my sister, and she joined the Rotary E-Club of World Peace. But I'm actually a member of the Westwood Village Rotary Club
Oh
in
my.
Los Angeles, or the UCLA Club. This
Well,
is my
the Westwood Village Club is in the United Nations Association Tri-County District. So
yes.
I know about that club because I
Mhm.
was I still am president of the United Nations SoCal Division, which includes Westlake. And I would
Mhm.
love to have us do some more collaboration. So
Oh,
let's see how we can do that with the Westlake Rotary and the United Nations Association. There's so many ways we can collaborate. If there's not one thing I learned from today is that you collaborated in a way that made Shab's gifts possible and made them get to Ukraine. And you got through sell wherever Finland, was it Finland that you had to talk your way into?
talked my way in through there. Oh, I have another story too of just getting into Ukraine. Um, where I met these two women at the train station. They were young women, like in their 20s, and they both went back and forth a lot. And one of the young women was going back because her brother had just lost his arm in the war. And she was going because she wanted to address him and, see what he needed and all of that. And I told her what I had, and I was a little worried about getting through customs and all of this. And since they go back and forth all the time, each one of them took one of my big suitcases, and they just walked through with it because they just stamped there because they go all the time. And I just had my little carry-on with my jeans and t-shirts and stuff.
You had a miracle, so many miracles on your trip, didn't you?
Well, I got them there, whatever works.
Well, that's I can tell you stories about miracles that happen like that. But having you on as peacepodcast.org is just so important. And I know both of us go to the Rotary E Club of World Peace, which is on every Tuesday night. And if you're more interested in joining them and finding out more about Marsha and some of our illustrious members, I'll send you a. Well, is there a way to find out more about your work that you're doing? Marsha, can we put a website up, or should we just go to Rotary E Club of World Peace or Westlake Rotary?
And well, we have projects we're working on right now. Well, one of them is with another member, Barbara Ledger, another Barbara. You know Barbara Ledger.
Yes.
And she lived in Ukraine for like 23 years, and she's an educator and she deals with trauma. And we're working on getting these um,
She
kids.
calls them rucksacks, but I call them back.
Rucksacks, yeah. Uh-huh. And if you want to, anybody listening wants to make a donation to get those rucksacks for the kids to have in the, for the teachers to have in the bomb shelters, because the kids spend more and more time in bomb shelters than they do in classrooms. And so these rucksacks really help them address trauma, as you can imagine.
Yes.
And Barbara is just really I know she spoke for your club last on this last week, didn't she?
She was our member. She's been on Peace Podcast.
Yes,
And
uh-huh.
oh my,
Recently.
we're such important people for the service that we provide.
Mhm.
And oh, Barbara has this passion that when those bomb sirens run, and then these children are scared, they go to the bomb shelter and then they don't get educated. But if they have these rucksacks with the pencils, paper, everything they need, they can continue to learn down there with their teacher. So, oh my goodness. Do you have a last word, a dream for our world?
Well, anybody can, my email is on my picture, marshahuntinc@msn.com. Do you see it there?
Marsha Hunt Inc. at msn.com.
That's
Yes,
my email, and you can send me an email if you have any other questions or would like to be involved in the Ukraine USA ICC. And, you know, I can send you a link to our next meeting, which will be March 17th. And also you can just contact me and I can tell you more things going on.
that's a wonderful, generous offer. And I'm going to be there for the ICC meeting. I was just on with Claudia, our past president. I just think that this is such an important time for us to be active and to let people know that we really would like to prevent wars. But in the meantime, we have to take care of those who are victims of them. So I
Mhm.
thank you, Marsha. Do you have a last word?
Just that, well, I'm obviously involved in Ukraine quite a bit right now. And just to learn how to help people and how to prevent another war anywhere.
Absolutely. Prevention is the way. We have a new website called mutually assured survival.world, and I will feature your podcast there too, because it's really a powerful one. And I'm Barbara Gonmuller, and I thank you for joining us. And as you hear, Marsha has been doing her job to keep the world healthier, safer, and mutually assured survival for all. And with that, I thank you. Thank you again, Marsha. It was a wonderful interview, a conversation.
Thank you, Barbara.
My pleasure. And with that, I thank you. Invite somebody who may be worried about Ukraine to join you and watch this podcast. You know, Ukraine is a very sad place right now. None of us believed that we could have this tragedy there. But in the meantime, we have people like Marsha Hunt, our guest today, who is able to take in what they need. And I wish you a very safe and warless world. Thank you again, Marsha.